Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading for May 2020. This is going to be for Gemini Sun, Moon, or Rising. You may have planets in the sign of Gemini. You may be in love with the Gemini. You maybe were intuitively guided to the reading, and you're not even a Gemini. Matter of fact, that is a question I wanted to ask. If you guys want me to continue doing the monthly readings, like, Gemini and Cancer, like that, or is it because and the reason I'm asking, I get so many people come to the readings who just are intuitively guided, who may not be the sign. So I'm wondering, will I reach you better if I leave it open to all the signs? I don't want you to worry that you won't get messages, then you will. I trust in the Lord. I trust in what I do, that the right people will show up for the reading whenever they're ready, right? Doesn't always mean the day that the reading is put that I upload the reading. It could be a year from now. Whenever it is you need to hear the message, your guides will nudge you in some way. So my question is, because I really don't think I can do both, plus do personal readings on top of that. So my question is, would you prefer that I continue to do sign by sign each month, or put out readings every day, speaking to all of you who show up? I'm going to leave that up to you, okay? It's just something that's going back and forth in my mind, and I feel like it's really meant for you to answer. So I'm going to leave it up to you, okay? Just leave a comment. It doesn't mean, some people will be like, well, what about my sign then? It's the same thing. You'll be guided to what you are meant to hear. But I want to do it whichever way you prefer. So I guess we'll do a majority rules type of thing. I should do like a survey. Anyway, I love you guys. Welcome to your reading. So we're going to start the readings with our major arcanas. Okay, you're the second reading I'm doing for May. Of course, I did Taurus first because it was their birthday. And you know what? Speaking of, like, if I do a reading for like all signs all the time, those who have a birthday coming up will still, I think would still do their birthday, because that only seems fair. I don't know. But you guys, give me your thoughts on it, okay? I want your thoughts. So, again, we're going to start with major arcanas. This is going to give us the base of what's going on for you. Sometimes it's what we need to look at. Yesterday, I did Taurus. I got a little mini reading just out of these cards. So we're using them in a couple different ways. We're using them in any way that they want. Okay? I stay very in tuned. I listen to my intuition. If I start to go into my head, I'm usually nudged back out somehow. So, yeah, whatever you want. Okay, so I'm going to ask you just to take a moment. I'm going to ask you to try to quiet your mind. There's a lot going on in the world. So I want you to try to just let all that go. Release your expectations of how your answer must look. Many times our prayers are answered. They're answered in the way that we need. Maybe not so much as what I want. But if that's the case, it's because there is something better. There's something that your soul may not be remembering. So clear out all expectations. I invite your guides always in with my guides to work cohesively to bring us the clearest reading possible. I'm just hearing you just have to trust. Trust. It's for all of us. Trust. And let's begin. Excuse my nails. Again, you guys know I try to make, because I don't show my face very often, I try to make my hands look the best I can for you, but my gosh, they look terrible. But I just moved into a new place and have been working hard, so we'll fix them. We'll fix them. All right, let's see what's going on. Well, that didn't take long. So the Hermit jumped out first, by the way, which is also the energy of Mercury, matched with Gemini. Can be Virgo. We're not going to rule anything out at this point. But when the Hermit, the Hermit coming out, probably also talking about how we are all hopefully staying home, those of us who can. Not everyone can. And using that time wisely, right? The Hermit is about introspection. It is going deep within myself. Really receiving some clear answers. Some of you, it is, you're receiving information. It's like your lantern is being lit. You're receiving downloads in some way, and these downloads are not, well, I mean, they're there to help you, absolutely, but I feel also to help others. So this is the time, I feel, to speak what you're feeling, if it's coming from a very high vibration. We have Judgment. Judgment talks about a rebirth, a call to attention, right? Getting your attention in some way. I often feel our guides within Judgment, God within Judgment, right? Looking back at the Hermit, almost saying, and I don't want to say the virus is, on purpose or God made or anything like that. But I feel that what it's showing is something will, it's even hard to say this knowing, how many people we've lost already, but something is coming out of this era, this time period that is very enlightening, very meant to be. It's a call to your soul. I feel like it's bringing out a lot of compassion and empathy in the world. Those who are light workers that aren't quite sure yet, you're receiving that clarity that you are. But this is the universe wants our attention. Let's keep going. I feel like for some of you, you may be donating blood. Now, maybe you went through the coronavirus and you carry the antibody now. Is that what it's called? The antibodies? Some of you may be helping the world in that way. We have Justice, card of Libra. So this is about making you whole again, right? Following Judgment. This is about making you feel whole again. It's like the universe, in a way, is saying, we have your back, right? We're trying to make you whole again. But it comes through the energy of the Hermit. The Hermit is opening up this reading. And, Justice is about finding one's balance. Finding our balance. This is a beautiful energy of spirituality. And moving through that spirituality, it feels like the truth, right? Truth. For some of you, I'm sure it could represent, a disconnect, an ending to some type of karmic situation, karmic relationship. But I feel like whatever is happening for you, for those who are watching, there is definite purpose behind it. It's definitely coming from within. And it feels like really for me to have the balance that I need, maybe just to get through this time period, I have to look within. But again, I feel like Spirit has your back. In other words, you're being blessed. You're being watched over. Okay, let's stop there. And let's bring in our, what I'm going to call the main deck. Okay, the main deck. Sam went out and bought me a couple white candles. So I appreciate that very, very much. And we are using them in your reading. I hope you can see them. But if nothing else, I feel like they bring us a sense of purity to the reading. So they feel good here. Some of you were thinking that these readings are coming out too early. I have a feeling someone, when they first watch it, they're going to say, Sandy, why are you doing May already? Because I'm being called to do them now. Maybe the messages need to be heard now. That's why I'm doing it. Also, I have a feeling I'm going to be doing a lot more readings to just help us all get through this time period. So, let's see what we have. So we open up with the Three of Pentacles, followed by the World, joining together with others, other like-minded people. I do feel a judgment coming over the world, you know, after when we're all through this coronavirus and everything else, because it's not just the coronavirus, there's a lot of things happening in the world. It is like a new day, a new time period. I also feel this is talking about each person learning through this period to feel comfortable within what you can bring to the world, what you can bring to your career, what you can bring to your relationship. This is about, I feel like a lot of you are going deep, like through the hermit energy, to figure out who you really are, right? Your authentic self. A lot of people, you know, it's funny, I talked to my granddaughter this morning, and she said, guess what, Grandma? After you left, she's like, I changed. And I'm like, what do you mean you changed? You were perfect the way you were. And she's like, no. She goes, I got my keyboard out. I bought her a guitar for Christmas because, you know, there's a lot of musical people in my family, and she definitely has that talent. And she's like, I've been practicing the keyboard, and she's just so proud of herself. But what she's doing, she's learning a new craft and finding that she's good at it, right? And I feel like this is what's happening for a lot of us. You know, this period of isolation. I keep saying isolation. There's got to be another word I can use for it. It's helping us to find our unique self within the world. You know, but let's just take the world out of it. It's just helping us to find these pieces of ourselves that perhaps then make us feel whole, right? I think a lot of us are really starting to see the spirituality in the time, you know, in what's going on. You know, we're seeing both, right? We're seeing the good and we're seeing the bad right in front of our face. Like we can't deny certain things, right? This talks about a period of walking through your spirituality, with your spirituality. Again, learning new crafts, learning things about yourself. Some of you, when this is all said and done, I feel, you may take a whole different path in your life. Yeah. We have Judgment again. Look at that. So we have Judgment now next to the World card. Interesting. Calling down to my people. Calling down to my people. We have the Lovers. Interesting. I know, I always say interesting. But to me, it is very interesting. We have the Four of Pentacles coming under the Three of Pentacles, under the Hermit, right? This is our home base. This is where usually our stability is. Certainly showing the energy of, again, isolating, right? Staying home. But through that, finding out, again, a lot about myself. I don't feel like this is about finding out about other people. Some of you may be connecting to a love, a romantic love. I could read the cards and say that some of you may be disconnecting from a love too. And that could be true, but I don't feel like this is where we're at right now. Look at this. We have the Wheel coming under the World. The Wheel is destiny. Destined, right? Things that are destined to happen. The wheel keeps on turning, right? We jump on and off. It's almost like the wheel turns, and we can, let's say within this Three of Pentacles, we figure something out about ourselves. Let's use my granddaughter Faith, for example. She starts playing the keyboard, and she starts to excel at it, right? She finds a focus on it too, because Judgment is also about, where is your focus at? Where is your focus? So this is talking about a destined time, right? Destined to walk within our spirituality. I want to say, realizing that Spirit walks the earth with us. It just feels pretty clear. We have the Emperor, which is the card of Aries. This can be, when I think of the Emperor, I think of, well, first of all, it can be a father figure. It can be a boss. It can be the world leader, right? It can be many different things. Also the card of Aries. But when it's sitting next to the energy it feels more about someone who's using their wisdom and meant to, right? Because this Emperor here feels like I'm using what I have gained to spread it through the world, but it's coming through a belief system. So maybe I'm learning a new belief system. I'm opening myself up to different perspectives. Let's see what comes next to the Emperor. Okay, we got a lot of cards, so we're going to take them, but let's move this up. We have the Six of Wands, card of victory, coming under the Lovers, which is also a 6. This is, I feel like what's going on here is this is the Emperor now having people listening to this person's perspective, a leader, but a leader that's coming from the highest of energy. I want you to understand that. This isn't about a leader who is just trying to rule the people or rule the land. No, this is about bringing out a perspective that in some way will help us, right? This is someone who's very wise. For some of you, because it's connected to judgment, this can talk about a father figure, a grandfather, you know, a big brother, someone who has passed before you, and feeling their energy, feeling their advice. We have the Fool. We have the Star. Beautiful. Card of Aquarius. We really have some beautiful cards here. Look at this. We have the Wheel. I'm sorry, we have the World. Into the Wheel with the Star. So the wheel is turning, right? The wheel is turning. Let's say it's really turning right now, moving into the energy or the portal of the world. When I see the world, I feel there is something new opening up, right? It's like a peek behind the veil, but I understand it. Why do I understand it? Maybe because I began with the Hermit. And to have the Star then come out, the Star is about our hopes and our dreams, right? We have the Fool next to the Star. So this Fool wants to go on a journey, is going on a journey. Perhaps the Fool is leaving in its time home base, let's just say, right? Moving towards their dreams, their hopes. You know, it feels like Hermit was the perfect card to open up with, because I feel like I have a lot of realizations through this time period. I have a lot of discoveries during this time period, and I'm meant to discover these things about myself. You know, it's almost like it's bringing me to my whole self, right? Which then allows me to enter into this next chapter, being exactly who I am, being my unique self, right? Being my unique self. The Fool is the one who takes a chance, right? I'm going to take a chance on this. So I've gained wisdom. The wheel is spinning for me. The Emperor is here to let the world know of that. Whatever perspective that is, it's being heard and looked up to, right? The Fool then comes out, which brings which brings our hopes and our dreams into our earthly world. Let's keep going. We have the Two of Swords. Interesting. Followed by the Queen of Swords. Potential Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This certainly could be you. This could be, listen, beside this Queen is the Two of Swords. So I can tell you, and by the way, let's do the last card while we're here. We have the Seven of Wands. So this is trying to get people to see it my way, right? This is, I don't really want to say fighting, but this is like, you know, a bunch of different perspectives, and you know, you can be looking at someone and be like, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Why don't you see it the way that I see it? Well, this feels like, and this is defending one's word, defending oneself, who I am, right? But I have the Two Swords. So this Queen is asking herself, do I take this chance coming from the Fool and go after this dream, right? Dreams and wishes and hopes don't naturally just fall in our lap. These are things that we go after, right? We go after. We get these epiphanies. We get these things that happen that bring us to, like Faith bringing her to that keyboard, and bam, now she's got a new love for it. So This Queen is asking herself, can I do that? You know, these are the questions. This can be a limited belief in oneself, and it's because I'm in my head, right? I'm trying to base a decision not from my intuition, more from my thoughts. That type of energy. We have the Princess of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and I love her energy because she's the seeker of knowledge, right? She is, she can build her world in any way she sees fit, right? But she goes after it. For some of you, this is talking about your finances and maybe even ultimately where you will live. But I feel like it's, you know, she is on a quest. See what's under her. We have the King of Wands. So she wants to learn more also about this king. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, potentially, right? We already have Aries on the board. So let's continue. Let's use the Cosmic Tarot. I gave my daughter a lot of my cards, my decks, because I feel, I don't know, I feel like they belong to her now. And I feel like I'm meant to find a few new decks to add in. I'm moving very slowly because I let the deck call out to me. I have bought decks on eBay, though. I have to tell you, my favorite place to purchase a deck is on hayhouse.com. But I would love to hear, other perspectives on where you get. I know Etsy, but listen, I'm all about a deal. I'm a Virgo. Like, I want to find that deal, but I want something that calls to me also. Like the Psychic Tarot here, I've had this deck for quite a while, but it didn't call to me for months after I had purchased it. It now sits in our arsenal, right? So it may be called at any time. All right. Let's start at the beginning. So we had the Prince of Cups come out as our first card. Prince of Cups is usually bringing in some type of offer, some type of cup that feels good, right? This is the type of offer that you would look forward to. Usually it's going where? To the Princess of Cups. So a lot of times it's unexpected. One card dropped. Let me find it. Look at this. We have the Prince of Wands. Somebody may be trying to make a decision between these two princes. Again, Prince of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Prince of Cups, Gemini, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, potentially, right? Coming over the Hermit. So I'm definitely thinking about these two people. I feel like this is more about thinking about them than action of them. Though I do feel, well, let's keep going. I do have the Lovers here, which can certainly mean a head over heart decision, right? I need to make a decision. I'm either going to make it out of my head or I'm going to make it out of my heart. With the Hermit there, I feel like this is very intuitive. We have the Three of Swords coming over Judgment. So I feel like we have some, let's say, ancestors with us at the table. helping, number one, to heal, right? Because we're going from the Hermit into the Three of Swords, so healing over heartache that I've had. Spirit saying, we're right here beside you, right? Someone at some time could have also broken your heart. If so, I would say it's between this Prince of Cups or Prince of Wands. And you know what, let's talk about them for a second, because maybe it's not even that sign. Again, Prince of Cups is normally someone who's romantic, right? This is still someone who's trying to find their footing in their romance and how they present themselves, but usually moves through the heart. Prince of Wands is someone who is action, right? You know, if the Prince of Wands gets the Fool and there's a new opportunity or something like that, the Prince of Wands is the one that's going to say, yeah, I'm going to take it, right? With the Emperor here too, so you could certainly talk about younger days, right? A younger time. And I feel like we saw the King of Wands there. Interesting. So we did see the King of Wands here next to the Princess of Pentacles. Let's see what this heartache's about. You know, coming over judgment, I can tell you one thing. If you allow it, healing is definitely possible. Alright, we got a lot of cards. We're going to take them. It's just the way it's been going this month. So, we're not going to fight it. We have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups coming next to the Three of Swords. So someone's thinking about someone. Someone's trying to weigh something out about someone who had previously broken your heart. Or you probably broke their heart too. I don't know. I often feel both sides of the coin. And not everybody likes that, but I do. So I do have the Two of Cups here. I have the Lovers here. I have the Three of Swords. I have all the energy of what feels like true love, right? You know, I am noticing the Two of Cups is touching justice. That could represent Libra, of course, but it could also represent the severing of a relationship. Doesn't have to be a divorce. I just feel like it's a severing of a relationship. This could have been back in the day. I don't feel like this is something I'm thinking about that I want to do. I'm thinking more, if anything, this would be me taking a chance with someone who, you know, where the Three of Swords energy used to live. I don't feel like it lives there anymore. Unless I bring it up, I don't feel like it lives there anymore. We have the Moon, potential Pisces, also ruler of Cancer. We just had a full moon. It's funny, coming over the Lovers. We have the Hermit again. So the Hermit now is coming over the Three of Pentacles. We have Judgment. Are you kidding me? So, how many decks have I used? Why do I feel like we have three of these? We do have three of these. So we have Judgment 3 times. Judgment coming over the world. We have the Princess of Pentacles. She decided to actually show up in the reading, right? For some of you, this reading is about something you're seeking, some knowledge that you're seeking. Here she is. She's coming over the energy of Judgment attached to the Two of Cups. Also, though, attached to the Three of Pentacles. I feel like, you know, Spirit's saying we're trying to bring two people back together again. Whether it was in this lifetime or a previous lifetime, I do feel Spirit's hand in this of trying to bring two people back together again. You know, a special relationship, it must be. Maybe there's power behind these two people, especially the Emperor down here, like a real power between these two people when they're together. Now, if this is of a past life, you probably, like you may meet this person and be like, there's something different. I feel like I know you. That type of energy. Because we don't want to always assume this is someone who broke my heart, 3 years ago. It can be, right? But with judgment here so much, I feel like this is talking about a true connection to someone. Princess of Pentacles wants to learn, right? Tell me more, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. I definitely feel like she's also hearing direction through this. We have the King of Cups. So we have the Prince of Cups. Now we have the King of Cups, who's also touching the lovers. Potential Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, though, is touching Pisces energy. I want to know more. I feel like if I'm the Princess of Pentacles here, I want to know more about this king. Maybe I want to know more about his connection to me. The moon puts it casts a shadow over what I feel, right? I feel like there's something here. But the moon casts a shadow over it. Why would the moon do that? Why would spirit cast a shadow? Because you're meant many times to seek something out. If, it's like if you have no interest in something, then why would spirit put it in front of you, right? Unless you have the mentality of, I'll give it a shot. That's the Fool, right? I'll give it a chance. I'll check it out. Anyways, there's a shadow over the lovers, the Two of Cups, and I am trying to figure this out. King of Cups, I like the King of Cups in the upright because this is someone who has a very open heart. We had the Prince of Cups. I do feel like we're talking younger and then of today, right? Maybe you just want to know if you can trust this person. But when I see the King of Hearts come out, touching all this love, I feel like this is someone who wants to be in a relationship. I feel like this is someone who feels good within a relationship. I don't know that there's a need to worry over this. Of course, we have free will. People will do what people want to do, and we can't control that. But it's not about controlling here at all. There's nothing here about trying to control something. It's more about a flow, right? With all the love that's on the table, it's more about going with the flow of something. With the Eight of Swords over there, so there's a fear factor here, which we already knew that because we have the Two of Swords down here too. The fear factor. Why? This is telling us why the moon is here, other than if it represents a sign. And it can still represent the sign and give us a message here. And I feel the message is saying that I am at least thinking, coming from a space where the reason why I would not jump into the Fool's shoes is because of previous heartache, right? You have so much spiritual help and energy around you. I feel like it's about clearing this energy. It's about putting these walls down, right? It's about looking at someone or something with brand new eyes, right? Brand new eyes. I'm holding on to the past within the Eight of Swords, and therefore I stop my growth. I stop what it is that I truly want with the Star, right? With the Star card, it's about my hopes and dreams coming to fruition, but with the Eight of Swords, it can show up right in front of my face, but I may not even see it, or I could turn it down because I become too fearful. It's self-created, right? So many times I feel like it's our thoughts. It's our thoughts that go a little haywire. And we you know, we have to learn how to control our thoughts. We just do, because we're not, you know, we're not meant to act on every thought. Anyways, this is self-created, so this can be uncreated. You can definitely uncreate that. And I feel like if you do that, how do you do that? Well, you know, we started with the Hermit again. It's going within, right? It's, you know, it's trying to understand the big picture instead of all the pains of the past. You know, it can be uncreated. I want you to know that. And I feel like it's also saying, with justice peeking out there, that you don't feel whole, right? Because, you know, you don't feel balanced. Why? Because my thoughts are controlling my action, right? Because I feel like, let's say this King of Cups comes forward, right? And I feel like it's got a lot of spiritual backing behind it. 2 cups connected to it. If nothing else, we're looking at a soulmate. Then we have the Lovers down here too. You know, that's starting to move. I mean, you know, if we get the Sun and the Moon, we get the Ace of Cups. Then we're moving into twin flame energy. But will I notice it? Will I see it? Will I care? Will I take the chance, right? Even though it's part of my hope and dream. Down here, same thing with the 2 of Swords. It's like, you know, I got a blindfold on, and then I'm trying to base something, inform myself, but I'm not coming, I don't know, my thoughts don't seem clear enough. Let's keep going. There may be certain cards I end up pulling out of. Here's the Sun. Look at that. Here's the Sun. Potential Leo. It's coming over the 4 of Pentacles, touching the Hermit, card of Virgo. So this could certainly be talking about a Virgo and a Leo. They are neighbors, by the way. Doesn't necessarily mean your lover is your neighbor. Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe during this isolation period, you meet your neighbor. I don't know. Anyways, what does the Sun do? The Sun illuminates. The Sun gives us a sense of warmth, which gives us a sense of trust. The Sun allows us to, you know, it's following the 8 of Swords, so it allows us, I feel like, for one thing it's saying is, you know, if you choose to stay in your head, if you choose to not allow the 3 of Swords to leave your thought system, you know, you have to keep going back into the Hermit mode, right? You don't notice the Sun has come out, but the Sun is here to help illuminate what those swords in the 8 of Swords represent, right? We have a shadow that's casted over your thought process. The Sun brings you clear days, right? It brings you clarity. We have the 8 of Cups coming over the wheel, but also touching the world. So, let's talk about the 8 of Cups. I don't know why I'm talking about each particular card, but that's how it feels like it wants to be done. 8 of Cups is where my focus is at. 8 of Cups, 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords, I created this prison, you know, a self-created prison around myself. The 8 of Cups, why? I'm looking at my emotional life, what feels like at one time was a mess, right? Why the cups all knocked over? Why can't I get it right? Why? Well, you're receiving a lot of help in that area, but you also have to be open to it, right? 8 of Cups coming over the wheel is telling you that something new wants to begin, right? That something, that part of your destiny wants to begin. With Judgment up here, again, some could have been in a karmic period. You know, don't curse the karmic periods, because this is where we learn some of our biggest lessons. And those lessons, let me tell you, what did they do? Well, if we really learned them, it shows us, it teaches us how to be in love, how to have the type of love or the type of creativity, the dream that we want, how to bring it to the forefront. Eight of Cups says, get your emotional house in order. And there's still 2 cups that remain. Well, those 2 cups have already come out. So in the atmosphere, right? Some of you, this is like hometown energy with the sun sitting over the 4 of Pentacles, right? Hometown energy. You know, in a home that I grew up in. Somehow that seems like an influence, but it's saying to get your emotional house in order. Well, hello, lovers, again. We're getting a lot of repeating energy, so it's like Spirit saying, I want to make sure you get this message. So the Lovers is now touching the wheel. Destiny. Also, the Emperor. Wisdom. Belief. The Emperor doesn't run off of fear. Doesn't mean the Emperor hasn't had times of fear, but when fear would show up for the Emperor, he would push through it, right? He knew it was a lesson that it's going to help for eternity. So you have the Lovers now coming over the wheel and the Emperor. Some of you, it's Aries. Look at this. We have the Princess of Cups. So we had the Prince of Cups, right? Prince of Cups is the one who wants to bring in a cup, right? A cup of fulfillment. The Princess of Cups is the one who receives that cup, often unexpected. Yeah, maybe why the Fool is also here. Maybe why the 8 of Swords is here. Like, you know, will you recognize it if you keep yourself in the 8 of Swords energy? This is definitely talking about love that wants to come in. Some of you may already be in this connection, but I think what it's definitely showing us is the connection between 2 people, right? The Princess of Cups coming in suddenly, coming in unexpectedly. Though in a way, it's expected, right? Why would I say that? Well, because the Hermit is here twice. So I may be receiving epiphanies. I may be feeling certain type of energy. Like, I don't know, I just kind of feel like something good's about to happen. I feel like someone's going to show up. I feel it. I'm feeling it, right? Attached to the Lovers. Look at it. Well, I should have just read. I should have looked at the card. So then we have the High Priestess. This is about my intuition. The High Priestess up against the 8 of Swords. Well, hello. That's your intuition against your mind. What is going to win? Right? Which is going to win? Well, the High Priestess is sitting over the energy of victory. So I feel like it is that. You know what? In the Hermit, I feel like we're getting a peek behind the veil. You know, the veil's not just ripped down, because knowing everything and how everything is going to be, what fun is that? And we have to remember that we have free will. So, you know, something can be destined to go this way, but then we're in the 8 of Swords energy. So we change the direction of the wheel, right? I'm not ready for this. So we change the direction. That doesn't mean that it won't ever come back. I don't know. Maybe. But I feel like if something is truly meant to be, it will. So I got to look at this very carefully, right? Because again, this moon is casting a shadow. It's casting a shadow over my thoughts, the way that I'm thinking, maybe even the way that I'm trusting, right? With the King of Cups right there. King of Cups is looking at that Eight of Swords, almost like thinking, I can break through that. Right below that is the Princess of Cups. I mean, I just love the energy here. And then, again, the High Priestess. Some of you, you know, your love stories, much like I feel like my love story, and I almost want to write a book about the way that my love with Sam came about. And, you know, how I feel the difference in the relationship between him and anyone else that I have been with. Doesn't mean I haven't loved other people. I have. But this is different, right? And because I won't allow that shadow over it, it's very clear to me. I'm able to see that. I'm able to see the connection. But I also feel when we have this type of energy, it is so that we can help others. You know, I know there's many, let's just say, on a twin flame journey, and you feel like it's just never going to happen for you, right? It's never going to happen. Well, Judgment, first of all, says, give up control. Just give up control, right? Stop fearing it. If it's meant to come together, listen, especially if we're talking about twin flames, if two twin flames show up in the same lifetime together, you will be together. You know, and twin flame doesn't always have to be, well, let's not go down that road, though. I have to say, it's like we're getting more and more evidence as I go along, and I keep saying evidence because justice is peeking out there to me. But anyway, so the High Priestess is here, and if nothing else, I feel like if the High Priestess is up against the Eight of Swords, the High Priestess will always win. Always win. Someone may come in and also, I feel like in a loving manner, have you see something differently. And I feel like that if I open my heart and ears to it, it could allow me to put away the past, the heaviness of the past, and come back, start new as the Fool. The Fool, when I think of the Fool, I think of many different things, but the Fool to me is about, if you think about a baby being born, the majority of babies being born, we're born with amnesia. You know, we're not always meant to know what happened in a past life because, my God, sometimes it's hard just to get through this lifetime. Could you imagine if you knew everything that's happened to you in a past life? How do you know you even had past lives? Well, that inner strength that comes from you, that wisdom, right, that turns you into the Emperor. It's a wisdom. It's not just what I've learned in this lifetime. It accumulates. Doesn't mean I need to know it all, but I feel it. It allows me to feel it. We have the Prince of Pentacles now. So we have the Princess of Pentacles under the Lovers. Now we have the Prince of Pentacles. Doesn't, again, necessarily mean Earth. This would be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But what it is showing us is how they're matching, right? The Princess of Cups. We have the Prince of Cups. We have the Queen of Swords. And we did not get the King of Swords yet, but I think you understand my point. Okay, so we have the Prince of Pentacles coming over the Fool with the Eight of Wands. So, let's look at that. Coming over the Fool, this is what I've been thinking about. This is what I want to bring about. Right? This is coming from a higher energy. This is something that happens very quickly, much like the Princess of Cups receiving this cup unexpectedly from who? Well, she's sitting right next to the Lovers. Right, so something that comes to me unexpectedly. It's also touching the Eight of Cups, though. So the Eight of Cups talks about my emotional house. Getting it You know, it's like cleaning house. Clean the cobwebs away, right? Clean them up. Get rid of them. They were of last season, right? They don't belong in your house anymore. We could also say this is be prepared. Now, it's also touching the star. My hopes, my dreams. I have the Fool. I have the Offer. I have something that wants to come in quickly. I have the Sun above that, which tells me it's something that would bring me a sense of joy. I have the Hermit above that, so I feel like there's a lot of introspection. Am I saying that right? With this, a lot of clarity. If I have gone within and perhaps cleared that shadow away from what the swords represent. We know some of the swords represent heartache. Heartache in all different fashions, you know, and that's one thing that we all know, that we've all been through it. I don't know, I've been doing this for a while, and I don't know that I've ever read for anyone who has not at one time in their life had their heart broken or had broken someone else's heart, that type of thing. But this is about fast moving energy. So this is a bit, and hello, the Wheel is right there too. So something is moving quickly, something that feels very destined, right? A little bit of homework to do before I get to that, so that I can see it for all its glory. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Six of Wands. Again, card of victory. So this Emperor is really being surrounded by the Six of Wands. This means that whoever the Emperor is representing to you, and listen, you can be the Emperor and not be fire at all. It just means that you've been through a lot, right? You've been through a lot. But instead of being regretful and mean and cunning, he'd be in reverse if he was like that. I'm the opposite of that. My words mean a lot, right? What I have to say matters. People seeing me in a different light, right? But it didn't come easy. Eight of Pentacles coming right next to it. This is me. I was willing to put in the work, or I am willing to put in the work, right? I'm willing, whatever I focus on within the Eight of Pentacles will grow if I focus on it. I often feel that's part of my creativity too. So there's a lot of growth right around that. We have the Eight of Wands, we have the Six of Wands, we have the Six of Wands over here. Things moving quickly. We have the Wheel, we have the World. The World says, get ready, and the new a new portal is opening up, right? Making you whole again, right? For some of you, it's bringing you a great love, or you are the great love that is you know, who someone else is thinking about and desiring, right? This is desiring, not just thinking. This is desiring. What I feel desire comes from our heart, our intuition, I feel like this is the time when it's meant to be. Let's keep going. We have the Four of Cups coming over the Two of Swords with the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups, Four of Cups, and the Two of Swords together is somewhat difficult energy, because this is about making a choice. We know that you're trying to make a choice. We have the Two of Swords here. We know that you're trying to make a choice. At this moment, before the reading, you're trying to make this choice based off past experiences. But these past experiences may not have felt great, but that doesn't mean they didn't teach you a lot. I want you to remember that. They may not have felt great. They may have been very painful. But don't think you didn't learn a lot. I already know that you did. I know that you learned a lot. Two of Swords says, do I want to do this? Should I do this? I have the Seven of Cups. You know, Seven of Cups also throws a little confusion in my choice, in my choice making. Do I trust the cups, right? Well, if I didn't take the advice of the Eight of Cups, where it says, get your emotional house in order, get out of your head, then it makes it very difficult to make a decision. And, you know, this is where we can just say no. No, thank you, right? Which is fine. That is your choice. Remember that. That is your choice. But it's also showing, you know, when I see the Four of Cups, it has different meanings, but what I feel from it is a sense of boredom within my own life, right? Not feeling satisfied within my own life. It doesn't mean my life has to suck, but there's something that calls to me. This is within my emotional world. And I know it's a question. Okay, I know that many of you are coming here coming here today with a question in your mind. And you can have, like, you know, I want to say, like, I probably will not be the one who gives you the answer, but you will give yourself the answer if you follow some, like, you know, we have some beautiful cards here. We have the lovers twice. We have the Two of Cups here, right? We have some beautiful, we have the sun here. With the sun and the moon, with the lovers twice. So we have a lot of beautiful energy, but if I'm stuck within the Eight of Swords energy, I could just let it all go, right? My fear could override my intuition. I don't think that's going to happen, but it is a potential, right? It is a potential. So wanting to make a decision, you know, on one side of this decision is your hopes and your dreams. On the other side of this decision is this Queen of Swords. Certainly she can represent you as a Gemini, or another Libra, not another Libra, but a Libra and Aquarius. But I feel like what she's really representing is her authentic self. Who she is at a core level, on a spiritual level. The Queen of Swords is the one queen that can, like, truly let her thoughts take over. She's in the upright. It doesn't always mean I'm in the upright there, right? The card shows up in the upright, but it doesn't always mean I'm there yet, right? Because clearly she's not quite there yet. She's still thinking things over. She's still trying to figure some things out. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't say it very often, but I feel like, you know, I know that you will figure it out, but I feel like, you know, listen, if you're not willing to look at your emotional house and put that into order, if you're not willing to release previous pain, and then you do say yes to a relationship, I can almost guarantee that you will end up in the same, you will have the same type of outcome. This is asking for a much higher type of vibration. And this is why reading after reading, we get certain cards that come out, because it's not easy to put my emotional house in order, right? It's just not easy. It's not always easy to recognize my part in something, or even the patterns that have developed in my life. And it's not easy to tell myself, well, listen, I keep getting the same thing. Well, what's the one thing that is always present, and that's me and my thought process, right? So, I don't know. I just feel like we have the potential of some beautiful, beautiful relationships. Now, of course, you can move this talking about career when we get Pentacles on the board too. But I feel like for a lot of you, though, it is talking about the potential of true love, a true relationship. Whether you know this person, and I'm saying that lightly because I feel like many of you do, whether it was in this lifetime or of a previous life. You know, I did a twin flame reading, and I added some past life into that because I felt very strongly that in that reading we needed to also talk about a past life. So for some of you, you may want to check out that reading. What did I title it? I know I wrote Twin Flame / and I think I put past lives, but I forget what I titled it. You may want to check it out. A lot of these readings work together, right? If this triggers something on another, about another reading, then also watch that reading, right? Because they can help together. A lot of people say, do I watch my sun, do I watch my moon, or do I watch my rising? You watch what you feel called to. Period. Watch what you feel called to. Period. I don't know how else to say that. Okay, I'm going to pick these up. But because this is so love-based, I am going to leave both the Lovers out. I am going to also leave the Star out. And I'm also going to leave... No, I'm not. We're just going to remember that we have the World. We have Judgment, almost saying, just get ready for it. Get ready for it. Princess of Pentacles, she's someone who wants to learn, right? She wants to learn. She's seeking knowledge, right? I want to make myself better. I want to make my world better. So that's the underlying energy for you. If you're seeking answers and you come with a clear mind, you will find your answer. All right. Look at the bottom of the deck. Ace of Cups. I know I have some twin flames watching this reading right now. I thought to myself, it's the only thing it's missing where if I was doing let's say, a personal twin flame reading for someone, certain things that I would look for. And the Ace of Cups is something I would look for. Well, here it is. So I have a feeling I was meant to pick up this deck, just exactly like I'm doing. I'm going to put them how they were. And we're just going to do like a mini reading right below this. And if you weren't looking for a love reading, I'm sorry, but it's what we got here. Gemini energy everywhere, right? But I mean, look at that. If we look at the Lovers as Gemini, right? We have the Lovers and we have the Two of Cups. We have the Lovers and then we have the Star. To me, the Two of Cups is... it's a type of love where, I'm not going to say things are perfect because things, there's always going to be some type of influence, right? But we learn how to deal with these influences. But this is someone where a lot of it is, we see eye to eye, right? Sometimes we don't even have to speak. And, we know what each other's thinking, that type of thing. Look at that with the Knight of Cups, with the Lovers. So this is something that's coming in. You know, when I think of a knight, I think of a mission that will be completed. Right? Sent out perhaps by the Emperor. And this knight is not going to go back saying, nope, I couldn't do it. This is something that would be completed. I'm noticing how he's also looking back. So I feel like this person may have had a realization of, you know, I mean, I'm not saying they even know where they're going, but the realization of that this special time is coming in. Look at that with the Wheel of Fortune, Destiny, under the Two of Cups. So, if nothing else, this is saying that this is what your soul, this is a seed that your soul had planted. Not you, just your soul, but two people had planted. We have the King of Cups. This person is ready for a relationship. This person comes in with an open heart. I'm not saying perfection. I'm saying this is someone who knows or feels that they are better within a relationship. Not that they couldn't be by themselves. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. This is just someone who has an open heart, who can be very loving. And sometimes we need that person to help us overcome, let's say, the last of some karmic problems. The great energy to come in under the Lovers. Next to the Wheel, you have the Knight of Cups, then turns into the King of Cups. Some of you, it is talking an earlier day and coming of this day, right? A time period before where we had that connection. And by the way, the people both fall under the Lovers. And what I mean by that is, you know, it's almost like knowing, what am I trying to say? I'm saying that the people, and again, I'm saying people, but I feel like this prince was of a time, and then king is representing now, coming under the Lovers. So it seems very clear to me, especially when the Wheel is between them, a destined time. What does this destined time persist of? Well, we have the Star. The Star is of my hopes, my dreams, my wishes. It's manifesting, right? Manifesting. It's the nurturing of my dreams. You know, how do I nurture wanting love? Well, it showed you. Figure out what the Eight of Swords is for you. What's the mental blocks for you? And what's the emotional blocks for you? You know, what are you hanging on to? And once you figure that out, you're able to let it go. The King of Cups is someone who has already figured it out, right? Is moving with the Wheel. So, moving with destiny. So, they're feeling it. We have Justice coming under your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Making you feel whole. This person making you feel whole. Wow. We have the Six of Cups coming from the Knight and the Lovers. And we have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords dropping under the Wheel of Fortune, connected to that Two of Cups. So Ten of Swords is that, you know, next to the Six of Cups. So for some of you, this is talking about a relationship of this time period. And Ten of Cups is, you know, bad communication, how we communicated. That may be what it's talking about, is looking at the way I use my words, they use their words, you know, were we cutting to each other, just because Just because you were in that type of relationship didn't mean that the love didn't exist, right? But the time period. Listen, this could have been something that came together before its time also, right? I wasn't quite out of the Eight of Swords yet. So I went from the Eight of Swords to the Ten of Swords, right? My words, the things that I say, I don't mean to say them, but they come out anyways because I'm still holding on, right? I'm holding on to something. Six of Cups, though, I don't know, just feels like the right energy. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is a very independent energy. This is the energy of being able to take care of oneself through your craft. And I like this energy. I feel, here I have the Ten of Swords. I feel like it's showing, like, from the Ten of Swords, you must have had some guts to move from that energy into then the Nine of Pentacles, right? Nine of Pentacles, by the way, also talks about your guardian angel walking with you, helping you to build your foundation. Nine of Pentacles, we have a very strong foundation here, right? It's an independent foundation, but we have the Five of Wands that comes out next. I don't know why I thought I want to give this another shuffle. And then we have the Devil. So this relationship, if it, of this lifetime, and by the way, the Devil is Capricorn. I feel like I need to throw that out there. But what this is showing me is this relationship, whether of this life or a previous life or all lives, there is a period where the connection through this Ten of Swords felt more like a curse than a blessing. Why? Well, let's look at what it's following under. The Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands to me is the going back and forth, right? It's the mirror that comes up and almost forces us, but can't make us look in that mirror. I feel the Five of Wands comes up often, like within a twin flame reading, because, your twin flame is that mirror. And sometimes you're like, I want it. Well, the things that you have not cleared away, let's say, of a shadow energy, will pop up. It will be seen. And you can either look at it as in, okay, I can see that I'm still carrying some of this Ten of Swords energy. I'm not communicating in the way that my soul wants to, and vice versa, by the way. But it's a connection, right? And I feel like with the Devil coming out now, it's almost like I'm questioning that connection. I feel it. I definitely feel the connection. There's a lot of energy of feeling a connection. But, is it a curse or is it a blessing? Well, I feel the answer to that is it is whatever you make of it. It is whatever you make of it. And when that mirror shows itself, and if you see yourself in that mirror and you don't like what you see, you have the opportunity to clear it up, clean it up, cut it out, get rid of it, right? But get rid of it for good. Don't expect, I mean, this is what I worry about when twin flames come together, that they think everything's just going to be like of the utmost, best, most beautiful love that ever existed. And you will have that, but you're also going to have those challenges. And why? Because you're being called to a very high energy. You're already in a higher energy for this to even, let's say, present itself. But when we're able, again, to look at that Eight of Cups that was here before, our emotional house, the past things that has happened to us emotionally, that we hang on to, that we focus on, that we think about when love presents itself. The Eight of Swords, it is that self-created prison that we put around ourselves. I will only let you so close. I will not let someone in completely. Well, this type of love, if you say yes to it, be prepared to let them in completely. And let me just say one more thing, because again, we're not perfect. Let's say you still have some of the Eight of Cups energy within you, but you're trying, and that mirror shows itself. Recognize that mirror. Recognize it. Right? Because you can clear it any time, but you can clear it. That's the thing. You can clear it. There's true connection on this table. There is true love on this table. This is a love reading. And this is about you having the highest of love. But it does not just fall in your lap. You have to be willing to do what it takes for the human condition to match the spiritual condition. I feel like that's also why you got the Hermit out a lot, right? Going within, seeing myself, right? Wanting to learn. I feel like the Princess of Pentacles, I put her away already. Wanting to learn as much as I can about myself. Why? Well, number one, because it makes every day seem like a sunny day once you start clearing away this energy. But number two, when love does present itself and however it presents itself, the fear factor is so much less. I'm not going to say it's not there. So much less. Your intuition has a much better chance to shine so that you can feel comfortable within this connection. I feel like some of you say, is this a curse or is this a blessing? I may even name your reading that, a curse or a blessing. I think it's a blessing. But you can certainly make it a curse. It's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to you. I don't know I can say anything more about that. So that's where I'm going to leave that. However, I do want to pull an oracle card. But holy cow. Holy cow. Love, love, love. Let's stick with Mother Mary. She's always been great to us. Don't be afraid to anoint yourself. Or have someone else do it for you. You do that with olive oil. And you ask God to anoint the oil. It's not something I do often, but I have to say that my boyfriend just did it for me not too long ago. Because I was feeling the weight of the world. Like many of you, feeling the sorrows of the world. And knowing that I need to, I need to recognize it, but I need to not allow myself to feel it all, because I'm not good for anyone if I keep myself in it. I recognize it. I see it. But I'd rather come from the energy of solution. What can I do to help? Looking at all the compassion that's coming out right now, the empathy. It's so funny because there's some of it that is just so ugly, and then there's some that's just so beautiful. This is a true time of reflection, of opposites, cursings, or bless, that type of thing. All right. Mother Mary. We have 2. We have trust. I feel like I opened your reading saying to trust. I know that God, in His infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. Well, you had the Star card. That's exactly what it talks about. Watched over. Well, you've had judgment over and over and over and over again, so you are definitely being watched over. I allow myself to feel safe and enjoy my life, knowing that heaven is watching over my loved ones and me. It's a beautiful card to come out right now, and we're going to read. So we're going to read with trust first, and I came right to it. You ask this question because you desire reassurance that everything is going to be okay. This card asks you to trust that indeed it will be. By relaxing with faith and trusting in God's infinite intelligence, you open the doorway to the answers to your prayers. In this way, you are more receptive to hearing heavenly guidance, which gives you intuitive instructions about which action steps to take. As you take them, you bring about the designed results. That's the Fool. This card promises you a favorable resolution to your current situation, even if it differs from your expectations. Mother Mary lovingly asks you to step out of the way so that God's handiwork has room to enter. Surrender any fears, worries, or desires to control the outcome. Trust in God's wisdom and love. It's almost like the Emperor is coming out as the energy of God in your reading. I feel like that spoke so much about your reading, and I could see which cards it was talking about as I read. All right, let's read Watched Over. Look at that, went right to it. And I want you to remember how many times you got judgment. Number 1. That is about being watched over. This card brings a message of reassurance of your safety and asks you to drop any defenses or guards that may currently be preventing you from enjoying your life. By relaxing into God's protective arms, you reduce your stress levels in healthful ways. God, Jesus, Mother Mary, and the angels have heard your prayers. Have heard and answered your prayers for protection. You receive their answers via your repetitive feelings and thoughts. That must be why we kept getting the same cards. You receive their answers via your repetitive feelings and thoughts, which guide you along the pathway of safety. Keep your mind sober and open so that you can clearly pick up on these divine messages, and be sure to take action where they direct you. How beautiful. Trust. Just know that you're being watched over. This is a love reading, if I've ever seen a love reading. This is about new love. This is about love that was. This is also about love that was in a past life. None of that matters. It's talking about what will be and how receptive we will be to it. I want to thank you guys, as always. You know, the biggest thing is for you just allowing me to read the way I read. No one taught me, and maybe that's bad. I don't know. No. I read from my heart and my intuition. I definitely feel guided in my readings, and I feel of the highest vibration. So I definitely feel you can trust in the energy. Don't forget, though, when there's homework, don't skip over the homework, right? Because skipping over the homework is what keeps us in the Eight of Swords energy, and it keeps us in the Eight of Cups energy when we're meant to be in the Lover's energy, right? We're meant to be in the highest of energy. So we have to allow ourselves trust and know that you're being guided, and trust that guidance. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. If you're interested in a personal reading, all my information is below. I am, usually I say it's about a 2-week period. Some people want to know the day I'm going to read it. I can't give you a day. It's when I feel it. When I feel that I'm being called to you. I'm being called. I already know whose readings I need to do. I already read your emails and your questions. So when I feel called, within a 2-week period, of course, I do your reading. So anyone is interested, the information is below. Okay. I also want to thank you for your donations. I know it is tough right now. I'm going to be honest, I barely am getting any donations. I understand. I trust that I will be taken care of anyway. But, think about that. Thinking and helping any way that you can. Spreading the reading. If you feel someone's name is on this reading and they need that help, please give them the reading. Send them the link and let them decide if they want to watch it or not. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, for helping me to grow. Thank you for taking that moment and giving me a thumbs up. It feels good. Maybe that's an ego type of thing, but I look at it as in you're saying, yep, I get it, Sandy. I get it. And thank you, as always, for your comments. Keep your comments coming. And please, if you would, answer the question I asked earlier about what do you think about me doing, and I would do a lot of them, doing readings where it's not so much about okay, Gemini and then Cancer and then Leo and so on, or just reading for all of you, because we're all, I feel like we're a soul family and we're all guided. And I know there's a lot of people who aren't even Geminis watching the reading, and I know that you were called to it. So, many of you have been following me for quite a while, and man, do you think I feel your energy? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that I'm reading for a lot of you. Matter of fact, when I read your comments, I already know when I'm reading a comment yeah, like you were meant to be here. So you have trust in that. Just trust in that. But if you would answer the question, I'm okay either way. I want to do what you want me to do. Okay. And you're the first sign I asked that too. So, but I have a feeling, again, I'm going to have a lot of people here who aren't even Gemini. So, a nice mix of people, I feel like. And, I guess we'll just say the majority, we'll go with the majority. We'll see how it goes. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here for me. Have a splendid day. And don't worry about when the reading's coming out. When you're meant to see it, you will see it. And by the way, sometimes you are not meant to, but sometimes you're going to be guided to watch a reading you already watched, maybe a couple months from now. Don't fight that, okay? Because sometimes there's messages that you weren't quite ready. Like you may be in that 8 of Cups energy, and it's like, I'm not really getting this. It's not really for me. And then all of a sudden, something happens and you're like, wait a minute, I kind of remember. Go back and watch it again. These readings to me are timeless. I just do what everybody else does on YouTube, put it per month. But to me, they are timeless, just like us. I love you guys. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.